Well, Kurt, everyone knows your rags to riches story, but full disclosure here. When you left the Giants to come to the Cardinals, I thought it was just to be a mentor to Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
Gee, Kurt, something happened along the way, man. I mean, how did you know that your career wasn't over at that point?
Well, I mean, I think everybody from the outside kind of saw it the way you did. You know, even some of the coaches that were here kind of felt, oh, okay, his best years are behind him. He's coming here to, maybe bridge something as we move on to another guy. I think as a competitor my entire life, it was always just put me up against anybody, and I believe I'm going to win that battle. If I don't win the battle, fine, then play the other guy. I fully understand that, but I just wanted a fair competition. And, at that point in time, I felt like Arizona was, one of those organizations that had never really had success. We're looking for somebody that could help stabilize things, and they didn't have an incumbent starter that had been there for a while. So I thought, if nothing else, if this does work out, it could be like a perfect marriage. You've got a guy that's wasn't supposed to accomplish anything to begin with, but definitely is not supposed to accomplish anything now, in an organization that everybody looks at and says, well, they're never going to accomplish anything either. So, what a perfect marriage. Man, that was one of the best parts, was being a part of an organization that had no expectations.
At what point did you find that magic between yourself, Fitz, and Anquan Boldin?
It didn't take that long to understand how talented those two guys were. But again, the bottom line is this is the ultimate team sport. We can look around the league every single weekend and understand there's some really talented guys on that team, but it takes the entire team to be successful. And so it didn't take long for me to recognize, oh man, Larry's special. Anquan's really, really good. But it was about building around them and using their talents and gifts coupled with mine to be able to generate a level of hope and belief in the guys around you that maybe wasn't there other than that. But man, it didn't take me long to recognize how special those two guys were.
One of the biggest memories of me with you at the Arizona Cardinals is after the NFC wild card win. The crowd doesn't want to leave. They're just cheering at the top of their lungs. And I look around, and there's Kurt running around the field, blowing kisses, running up to Brenda in the stands.
Yeah.
I mean, where does that moment rank with you in your illustrious career of great memories?
Well, again, I think because of the timing of it and where it was, and the fact that it was the Arizona Cardinals, that people were saying, and I mean, even at that time, the infamous, Chris Collinsworth quote, the worst playoff team ever. So, I mean, not only the fact that we got there, but even once we got there, nobody believed we were going to do anything. Nobody believed we were capable of doing that. An old quarterback that couldn't make it, an organization that was never going to make it, and all of us together were a part of something that was truly, truly special. But it's one of those moments that you grab a hold of, and you understand the kind of impact that you're able to have through a game, through a sport, and that's where, our sport has come. But it's so cool how you can reach out and impact and touch an entire community, and it was really, really cool to be a part of.
I wanted to stop real quick and talk about your work with high school kids. Mm-hmm. Your son, Cade, I mean, he's blown up.
Yeah.
Your work with Keaton Slovis blows me away. I mean, unbelievable. Talk to me about that, and here you are now with Brophy. Talk to me about your love for what you do here.
When you're growing up, all you're thinking about is playing in the NFL and having success in the NFL, and you hope you have a 10, 12, 15-year career in the NFL, and you never really think beyond that because you don't understand the scope. And then to be able to take that and, as a parent, and be able to share what you do well with your kids and with their friends as they, embark on whatever their dreams are in life. And that's really where it started, was end of my career. And I thought, okay, let's use what I know and my expertise. And now I get a chance to use that to help my son chase his dreams. And he had an unbelievable high school career. Now he's been a starter the last 2 years at the University of Nebraska. And it's been so much fun to watch. You start to realize that through the game, not only can you share the knowledge of the game, but it also becomes a great way to mentor young men. You get a chance to teach lessons using this game that you can impart on these young men that you believe will carry over for the long term. And that starts with your son, that here's a great chance to teach my son, not even just when I'm working with him, but he might be watching me teach and coach his buddies. Again, it's really about impact. You know, how do you capitalize on this unbelievable career that I've had by extending out to as many and as far-reaching as I can to have impact on other people?
But before I get out of here,
I'm not done yet. I got more questions for you, because you've been doing what? Highlight. What, you know, you talk about high school, you talk about watching the Cardinals go to the Super Bowl, the Diamondbacks win the, you know, world. I mean, what's your highlight in all these years? If you could put your finger on one thing, can you do that? Can you give me your highlight of your entire career?
1998, Sun Devil Stadium, final game of the year, San Diego Chargers. Cardinals win, they clinch a playoff berth. And my gosh, there's Chris Jackie splitting the uprights. Yeah. Cardinals win, and this is a scene that's only you see in college, but it happened on the NFL stage. Granted, it was in a college stadium, but the fans stormed the field. They were tearing down the goalposts and everything. And I looked to my left, and there was Tommy Bennett. He was a safety for the Cardinals at the time. And he's just kicking back, watching like this. And I go, Tommy, what are you doing? He says, isn't this great? Isn't this fantastic? And we both just sat there and just watched this scene. It was a goosebump moment, and one that I'll never forget.
I mean, there's been so many great individuals that have been through here at the pro level as well. Favorite athlete that you've covered?
I'm going to say Charles Barkley, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
I like it.
We carried the Charles Barkley show. And as I began to know this guy, I said, wow, this guy's an incredible individual. You know, you can have some of the biggest names, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, on and on and on. They're all at the All-Star games. Everyone's cheering and yelling and screaming for them. They all head straight to the bus. There's only one guy that would go to the fans, Charles Barkley. This guy got it. I mean, he was always doing something that was relating to the fans, and then I couldn't believe his relationship with me or with us in the media. Unbelievable.